Hello students, welcome to the Java class. In this video, we are going to see what is synchronized blocks. In a previous video, we already seen what is synchronized methods. In this video, we are going to see what is synchronized blocks. So topic is synchronized block. CKS blocks. So to explain what is synchronized blocks, I will tell you one small story. Assume that this is a Bangalore-Mangalore highway and the distance between Bangalore and Mangalore is 350 kilometers and the time taken to reach Bangalore from Mangalore is 6 hours. Okay, and assume that this is a Shiradigarh junction. You can observe here, the road is small in Shiradigarh junction, and assume that this is a rainy season, and you know that during rainy season there will be no roads in Shiradigarh. Instead of roads there will be only muds. So assume during rainy season only one vehicle is allowed to pass through this Shiradigarh junction. So during rainy season, only one vehicle is allowed to pass through this Shiradigarh road. And assume that Dashwant is a highway and transport minister. So what Dashwant will do is, he will pass an order saying, in Bangalore-Mangalore highway, only one vehicle is allowed to travel at a time. So he will pass an order saying, in Bangalore-Mangalore highway, only one vehicle is allowed to travel at a time. Assume that Yogendra is an IAS officer and he is a highway and transport secretary. So he will give a suggestion to the minister, that is Dashwant, saying, Sir, if only one vehicle is allowed to travel in Bangalore and Mangalore highway, per day only 4 vehicles can travel in this highway because it takes 6 hours to reach Mangalore and per day only 4 vehicles can travel in this road, he will tell. So per day how many vehicles can travel? Per day, in one day, only 4 vehicles can travel in this highway. For 1 year, how many vehicles can travel? In 1 year, only around 1460 vehicles can travel in this highway. In 10 years, how many vehicles can travel? In 10 years, only 14,600 vehicles can travel. In 40 years, how many vehicles can travel? In 40 years, around 58,400 vehicles can travel in this Bangalore and Mangalore highway. In 40 years, 58,400 vehicles can travel in this Bangalore and Mangalore highway. If this is the case, we may never get a chance to reach Mangalore in our own vehicle because our vehicle may not be included in this 58,400 vehicles. Then Dashwant will ask, so what is the solution for this problem? Then Yogendra will tell, Sir, from Bangalore to Shiradigarh, we can allow multiple vehicles. From Bangalore to Shiradigarh, we can allow multiple vehicles. In the Shiradigarh road, we can allow only one vehicle at a time. It will hardly take 2 minutes to pass this Shiradigarh road. And after the Shiradigarh road, we can allow multiple vehicles. After the Shiradigarh road, we can allow multiple vehicles. So if we follow this concept, we can allow thousands of vehicles per day to reach Bangalore from Bangalore. So in a previous case, per day only how many vehicles were allowed to travel? Per day only 4 vehicles were allowed to travel. In this new approach, how many vehicles are allowed to travel? In this new approach, 1000 vehicles are allowed to travel in this Bangalore and Mangalore highway. So which is better? The new approach is better. The same concept can be applied in our Java program. So consider this. Assume this is a synchronized method M1. Assume this method has 1 lakh lines of code and it takes 1000 seconds to execute this synchronized method M1. You know that if the method is synchronized method, at a time only one thread is allowed to execute this method and the remaining thread should wait until the current executing thread is executing this method. Now assume that out of this 1 lakh lines of code, assume only this 10 lines require synchronization. So out of 1 lakh lines of code, only this 10 lines require synchronization. So these 10 lines require synchronization. In this M1 method, how many lines require synchronization? Only this 10 lines require synchronization. So what is the meaning of that? The meaning is these 10 lines should be executed by only one thread at a time. So how many lines of code this M1 method has? This M1 method has 1 lakh lines of code. Now, is it recommended to define this entire method as synchronized method? No, it is not recommended to define the entire method as synchronized method. Why it is not recommended? If we define the entire method as synchronized method, what will happen? At a time, only one thread is allowed to execute this method. So this is just like following a Dashwant principle. From Bangalore to Mangalore, only one vehicle is allowed to pass at a time. So what is the solution for Dashwant problem? The solution is Yogendra's principle. So what is Yogendra's principle? From Bangalore to, assume this is Bangalore, from Bangalore to Shiradi Ghat. Assume this box is Shiradi Ghat. So those 10 lines of code is Shiradi Ghat. Okay. From Bangalore to Shiradi Ghat, we can allow multiple vehicles. Next, in Shiradi Ghat, we can allow only one vehicles. After Shiradi Ghat, we can allow multiple vehicles. Instead of vehicles, consider these things as threads. Consider these things as threads. So from this line, starting line to this line, we can allow multiple threads to execute these lines. Next, within these 10 lines of code, we can allow only one thread to execute at a time. Next, after this 10 lines of code, we can allow multiple threads to execute these lines. So what happens if we follow this principle? If we follow this principle, we can reduce the waiting time of a threads and we can improve the performance of a thread. Next, how we can make only one thread to execute this particular line of code? How we can make to execute these lines of code by only one thread? The solution is synchronized blocks. So instead of declaring entire method as synchronized, we should declare the particular block as synchronized block. So we should declare this block as what? We should declare this block as synchronized block. We should declare this block as synchronized block. So I will explain what is this later. Open the brackets. Now I will close this bracket. Now this entire block is a synchronized block, and this synchronized block is executed by how many threads? These synchronized blocks can be executed by only one thread. When we should go for a synchronized blocks? When we should go for synchronized blocks? That is, if a very few lines of a code require synchronization, then it is not recommended to define the entire method as a synchronized method. In that case, those few lines of a code should be placed inside a synchronized blocks. Is it clear? Next, what is the biggest advantage of synchronized blocks over synchronized methods? The biggest advantage of synchronized blocks over synchronized method is it reduces the waiting time of a thread and it will increase the performance of an application. So next we have to see how to declare the synchronized blocks. So before that, what is required to execute synchronized methods? What is required to execute synchronized methods? To execute synchronized method, a thread should acquire a lock of an object or a lock of a class. You know that in Java there are two types of lock, an object level lock or a class level lock. Only after a thread has acquired a lock of an object or a lock of a class, then only the thread is allowed to execute a synchronized method. Similarly, to execute synchronized blocks, the thread has to acquire a object level lock or a class level lock. Only after it is acquired the lock, then thread is allowed to execute a synchronized blocks. How to declare synchronized block? How to declare synchronized blocks? So there are three ways to declare synchronized blocks. Three ways to declare synchronized block. So we'll see the first method. So what is the first method? First method is to get a lock of a current object. To get lock of a current object. So how to declare synchronized block? Using which keyword we can declare synchronized block? Using synchronized keyword. Synchronized followed by. So what is the first approach? First approach is to get a lock of current object. So how to access the current object? By using which keyword we can access current object? By using this keyword we can access current object. This keyword. Next, within this block, if a thread has got lock of a current object, then only it is allowed to execute this area. That is, if a thread has got lock of current object, then only it is allowed to execute this area, that is area within the synchronized blocks. So what is the first approach? The first approach is to get a lock of a current object. How to get a lock of a current object? Synchronized within the brackets this. What this represents? This represents current object. Only if a thread has got a lock of the current object, then only it is allowed to execute the area within the synchronized blocks. So now we should see the second approach, second method. So what is the second method? The second method is to get lock of a particular object. To get lock of a particular object. Assume the object name is B. Okay. To get a lock of a particular object B. So what is the second approach? The second approach is to get a lock of a particular object B. So how to declare a synchronized block? Using which keyword? Using synchronized keyword. That is synchronized followed by, I want to get a lock of which object? I want to get a lock of object B. So B. Next, I should open the brackets. Next, if a thread has got a lock of particular object B, then only it is allowed to execute this area, that is area within a synchronized blocks. So what is the second approach? To get a lock of particular object B, how to declare? Synchronized within the brackets B. Next, within the floor brackets, we should define the codes which should be executed by that particular thread. So if a thread has got a lock of that particular object B, then only the thread is allowed to execute this area within a synchronized block. Next, the third approach. What is the third approach? To get a lock of a particular class. To get lock of a class. Say for example, the class name is display. For example, consider the class name as display. Okay. So I want to get a lock of which class? I want to get a class lock of display class. So synchronized. Next, within the bracket, I want to get which lock? I want to get a lock of display class. So I should pass display dot class. Now so if a thread got class level lock of display class, then only it is allowed to execute this area. That is, if a thread has got class level lock of which class? Of display class. If a thread has got class level lock of display class, then only it is allowed to execute this area. So how many methods are there to define a synchronized blocks? There are 3 methods to define a synchronized blocks. So what is the first method or a first approach? The first approach is to get a lock of a current object. To get a lock of a current object. So how to get a lock of current object? Synchronized of this. This means current object. That is, if a thread has got a lock of current object, then only it is allowed to execute this area. What is the second approach? The second approach is to get a lock of particular object B. So how to get a lock of a particular object? Within the synchronized, within a bracket we should pass name of an object, that is reference name. If a thread has got a lock of a particular object B, then only it is allowed to execute this area. What is the third approach? The third approach is to get a lock of a particular class, or else to get a lock of a class. How to get a lock of a class? Synchronized, within the brackets we should pass a name of a class dot class. So if a thread has got a class level lock of display class, then only it is allowed to execute this area. Here the class name is display. Next we have to see an example for synchronized blocks. So first I'm going to create a class called display. Class display. Next I'm going to create a method called as wish method. So public void wish. I want to wish some person, so I will take his name, string name. Now assume that here we are having 50,000 lines of code. So here we are having 50,000 lines of code. Okay. Next I'm going to take a synchronized block. Synchronized. I'm going to take a first approach, that is synchronized of this. What do you mean by this? This means current object. So I'm going to get a lock of current object. For within this block I'm going to take a for loop for int I equal to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus system dot out dot print. I'm going to take system dot out dot print, not println. Okay. Within this I'm going to print good morning. Good morning. Okay. Next, after printing good morning, I have to sleep for 2 seconds. So I will take try. So within this try I will call sleep method. Thread dot sleep of how many seconds? 2 seconds, that is 2000 milliseconds. Next I should catch which exception? I should catch interrupted exception. If a thread is sleeping, there might be a chance of raising interrupted exception. So I should catch this exception. Next, I'm not going to handle this. I will leave it empty. Next, after printing good morning, the thread is sleeping for 2 seconds. Next, the thread is printing a name of a person. So I'm going to print a name of a person. System dot out dot println name. Okay. So this is our wish method. So after this synchronized block, assume that there are another 50,000 lines of code. Another 50,000 lines of code. Okay. Next. Now I'm going to create a thread. How to create a thread? Class my thread extends thread. Next, within this thread class I should call a wish method. To call a wish method I should create what? I should create an object of display class, because which is a instance method. To call an instance method, I should create a object of a class. So display D. So D is nothing but a reference. Next, I want to pass a name. So string name. Next, I will create a constructor of myThread class. How to create a constructor? myThread of. Next, what and all I should pass? I should pass display D comma string name. Next, I should initialize the display object, so that is this dot D is equal to D. Next, this dot name is equal to name. Next, since this is a thread, I should override which method? I should override run method. So public void run method. Next, within this run method, I will call a wish method. So d dot wish of name. Next, I'm going to create one more class synchronized demo. Synchronized demo. So within this class, I'm going to create a main method. So public static void main string array args. Next, first I'm going to create a object of display class. How to create an object of display class? Display d is equal to new display. Next, I'm going to create an object of thread t1. So how to create an object of myThread? myThread t1 is equal to new myThread of. So what and all I should pass? I should pass a object. So D. Next, I should pass a name of a string. So name of a person, that is string. So I'll pass Dhoni. Okay. Next, I will create one more thread. So myThread t2 is equal to new myThread of. So I should pass object comma name of a person. So here I will pass Yuvraj. Next, I will start t1 thread. So t1 dot start. Next, I should start t2 thread. t2 dot start. So what will be the output? So how many objects are there? How many Java objects are there? Only one Java object, which is that D. How many threads are there? Two threads, T1 and T2. Two threads are trying to operate on a same Java object. So what will happen? If two threads are trying to operate on a same Java object, we will get a data inconsistency problem. So how to avoid data inconsistency problem? By using synchronized methods or by using synchronized blocks. So what we are using in this approach? In this approach we are using synchronized blocks. So what is a synchronized block here? This entire block is a synchronized block. So to execute synchronized block, what is required? To execute synchronized block, a lock is required. So which lock is required now? The lock of a current object is required. So that is why we are passing this. This is used to acquire a lock of a current executing object. So what is a current executing object? The current executing object is, you can see here, the current executing object is D. So that synchronized block has got a lock of D object. So what it is going to print? It is going to print. So two threads are there. So which thread is acquiring the lock? That thread will get a chance first. First it is going to print good morning. Then it is going to sleep for 2 seconds. Then it is going to print a name of a person. So save this. compile. How to compile? Java C synchronized threaded demo dot Java next run Java space synchronized threaded demo. So what will be the output? Good morning, sleep for 2 seconds. So who has got the chance? Dhoni has got the chance. So only after Dhoni thread has executed, then only the Yuvraj thread will continue its execution, because currently the lock is with Dhoni. Now Yuvraj has to wait until Dhoni has completed its execution. Only after Dhoni has completed its execution, then only the Yuvraj will get the lock. Then Yuvraj will continue his execution. So this is a demonstration for synchronized blocks using first approach, that is using the lock of current object, that is using the lock of current executing object. So okay, now we will see the third approach. So what is the third approach? Using a class level lock. So how to get a class level lock? So what is the current class here? The current class name is display. I want to get a lock of a class. So how to get a lock of a class? By using what? By using display dot class. So here I use display dot class. Now thread will get a class level lock. You can save. So compile Java C synchronized threaded demo dot Java. Next Java space synchronized demo. Okay, we'll run. So what will be the output? The same thing. Good morning. It will sleep for 2 seconds, and the whichever thread has got the lock, that thread will start its execution. So this demonstrates usage of synchronized block using class level lock. Okay. Yes. If you have any doubts, please contact me.